Hi, here's Fernando Sabeta, Sales and Tech Service Manager in South America for Altec. We are present a review of the June global economy and graphite electrode industry. According to the World Bank, the last economy prospects, the global growth is projected to slow to 2.3% in 2025, a significant downgrade from previous forecasts. This deceleration attributed to the increased trade barriers, heightened policy uncertainty, and a general weakening of global demand. Some of the solution could be the need for cooperation, for multilateral policy efforts to foster a more predictable and transparent environment. Another thing is the importance of domestic policy action to contain inflation risk and strengthen fiscal resilience. The commodities as oil and others like energy, metals, and minerals try to get a stabilization and maybe is getting steady in 2026. The US dollar index this year dropped 10.2% up to the month of June. About some commodities, the Brent crude oil rose to $77.2 per barrel in June 2025. Over the past month, the price has risen 18%, but is still almost 10% lower than a year ago. The iron ore price fell to $94 per ton in June. Over the last month, iron ore price has fallen 5.3% and is down 11% compared to the same time last year. The coal rose to $107 per ton. Over the last month, the price rising 7.5%. For the steel scrap CFR Turkey, the price is at $373 per ton, up 0.7%. Price for future months gradually increased with January 2026 trading at $387 per ton. The hot oil coil FOB in China future price is $442 per metric ton. According to London Metal Exchange, the HRC in Northwestern Europe future contract is currently priced at approximately $675 per metric ton. Prices have declined by approximately 5%, reflecting softer demand and potential oversupply concerns. About some other commodities, according to the London Metal Exchange, the tin fell to $32,000 per ton in June 2025. Over the past month, tin's price has fallen 3.3% and is down 3.2% compared to the same time last year. About aluminum, the price rose to $2,600 per ton. Over the past month, aluminum's price has risen 3.2% and is up 1.7% compared to the same time last year. The copper rose to $4.83 per pound. Over the past month, copper's price has risen 4.33% and is up 8.6% compared to the same time last year. The zinc fell to $2,640 per ton in June. Over the past month, zinc's price has fallen 1.88% and is down 7.15% compared to the same time last year. The gold fell to $3,368 per ounce in June 2025. Over the past month, gold price has risen 1.44% and is up 45% compared to the same time last year. About ferroalloys, the ferrosilicon manganese induced silicon export price remained range-bound as bulk deals from key importing countries were notably limited. While producers held firm on their offers, a few transactions were concluded at lower than expected rates, which started to influence overseas asking price. The ferrosilicon price in China continued their downtrend amid weak demand, rising power costs, and seasonal pressures. Market volatility, policy uncertainty, and production challenges weighing the sentiment across the ferrous and alloy sector. About freights, the World Shipping Index, the Suez Canal is currently experiencing a decrease in traffic due to ongoing security risks in the Red Sea and the Gulf of Aden, and the U.S. tariff impact as key factors shaping the container shipping sector in 2025. The FBX global container freight was in 3,600. Specifically, attacks by Houthi militants have caused many ships to reroute around the Cape of Good Hope, leading to a significant drop in canal usage and revenue for Egypt. While the Suez Canal Authority was expecting traffic to normalize by mid-2025, the situation remains fragile and depends on the stability of the ceasefire in Gaza. Now, the global crude steel production. From January to May, the data show resilient growth in Africa and the Middle East, while Europe and Russia continue to face headwinds from energy costs and geopolitical uncertainty. The top 10 crude steel production countries keeping China in the top, but a slightly decrease in the production. And second is India, with an increase of 9.7%. The rest, Japan, United States, keeping the pace in steady production level. As of May 2025, China remains the world's largest steel producer, with output of 86.6 million metric tons of crude steel per month, while that is a 6.9% drop compared to May 2024. India saw a 6.7% increase in steel output compared to April. Italy produced 1.96 metric tons of crude steel in May 2025, marking a 3.7% increase compared to May 2024. While this reflects continued recovery in the sector, the pace of growth is lowered from previous months. Brazil produced 2.7 million metric tons of crude steel in May, marking a 5.0% increase compared to May 2024. Now some comments about graphite electrode outlook. The raw material, the China domestic needle coke price is still steady in this last quarter, around $1,000 coal-based needle coke and oil-based needle coke. Low sulfur petroleum coke is averaging around 3,000 yuan per metric ton, showing a slight rebound of 0.6 month over month. Looking ahead, it's expected that downstream demand will remain stable in the subsequent period. The operation rate of the anode industry is likely to stay stable, and the demand for low sulfur petroleum coke from anode producers will also maintain steady trade. Oil-based green needle coke prices have been under pressure, declining by 0.9% month over month. In June, the European Commission countered the circumvention of anti-dumping measures on imports of graphite electrode systems from China by extending their application to imports of artificial graphite in blocks or cylinders. The level of duty to be applied on imports of artificial graphite from China is 75%. In the U.S., a proposed 920% tariff on Chinese graphite using lithium-ion battery anodes has sparked a major debate. Tesla, for instance, pushed back hard, arguing that no domestic supply meets their quality standards and that such tariff could delay electric vehicle adoption. Well, in conclusion, supply chain shifts. Companies are accelerating nearshoring to Mexico to mitigate tariffs costs. The Mexican government reported a 165% surge on new foreign direct investment into the country in the first quarter of 2025, driven by tariff fears with sectors like automotive and electronics leads the trend. Global retaliation risk. China, the EU, and Canada are preparing retaliatory tariffs targeting U.S. agriculture and energy exports. A June 19, 2025 Reuters report cites EU plans for 25% tariff on US whiskey and soybeans if the 50% tariff threats materialize, which could escalate trade conflicts. China production dropped 6.9% year-over-year. This decline aligns with Beijing's ongoing push to curb overcapacity and restructure the steel sector. Despite the dip, exports remain strong, hitting a record of 48 million tons from January to May. Talk about the presence of Altec staff around the world. In June, Dr. Said presented a paper about sustainability endeavors in iron ore, refractory and graphite electrode in the Mina Steel Forum. Okay, folks, that's it for now. Bye-bye.